Are you experiencing pain from people not seeing your worth? You can analyze yourself till you're dead. You can try and intellectualize it from the intelligence point of view. You can look at it from an EQ point of view. You can look at how you're interacting, the way you're going about it. The reality is, every single person will see you from their own perspective. They can only see what they themselves have got. Hey Purpose Seekers, thank you for looking at this video. It's so great to get connected with you, and I hope you enjoy these kind of videos and these discussions, and I'd love to hear from you. So reach out, respond, give me some comments, give me your views in terms of the topics we're discussing, what you'd like to see discussed, and I'm quite happily discuss those topics with you. So a little bit about me, my background. I've been through a lot of pain. I started off from losing my dad at the age of 10 years old and trying to understand what the meaning and the purpose of life was really about. And then my first heartbreak back when I'm 17 years old, I can feel it like it was yesterday, and the pain was enormous. And to where I am more recent pain that I'm experiencing. And I sit back and I think, why are we going through it? What does it mean to teach us? Why am I experiencing this when all I'm trying to do is put good out there and have absolutely good intentions? And then you're stuck wondering, why me? How come is this happening to me? And I've done a lot of soul searching over the years. So I've studied psychology extensively. So even though I have my honors in psychology and I've studied it, and I'm a counselor, I've done trauma counseling, done a lot of debriefing, I continue to study every single sphere I can of psychology for non-degree purposes as well. So from industrial psychology to counseling psychology to psychopathology, clinical psychology. Yeah, so I've studied psychology quite extensively, searching for answers. So even though I've finished my qualifications, I continue studying every kind of new area I can of psychology. And I've been finding there's something lacking, and I haven't found all the answers I'm looking for in my personal experiences of what I've gone through. And being able to combine that with my life and my theoretical background, and having had personal experiential learning, I'm able to share this wisdom that I have, that people are looking for. They're seeking answers, they're trying to find and understand what is happening. And this is what I want to do. I want people to bring along the journey of what I've gone through. There's one message I want to give you. The most important thing in this video is, when you're facing pain, when you're facing a form of depression, whatever you're going through, that in itself is a spiritual crisis. It's telling you your spiritual side, your soul is crying out and needs something to address. So then you can intellectualize it as much as you want. You can use all your IQ you want. You can use all your emotional intelligence to try and understand, be fully self-aware, to try and understand how you relate to others. But there's something missing. And this is what I was seeking, one element that was gone. And I realized I've actually waxed. I mean, I know my EQ has been phenomenal in terms of all the scores I've done. But for some reason, I can't break through to certain people. And that's when I realized it was a massive, almost aha for me. It was an epiphany for me that, you know what? People only see you from their perspective, from their level of understanding, from their soul. That's the next level that you have to understand. But the biggest part I've realized as well is that you need to take people along with you. And now that's a hard, arduous journey. So I'm going to share a personal story with you. It may appear to be trivial to some people, but for me it was profound. And I'm going to go back many years where you formulate the perception and your value in society. And it starts shaping right from your former years. And you've heard the expression from a psychology point of view that the first 5 years establish your personality and who you are. And that's the truth, that's factual. But the reality is that any subsequent event past that may seem insignificant to anyone else, but it shapes how you see yourself and determines your self-worth. Being a little girl, I was 5 years old, I went into a sweet shop and I really wanted these sweets, and my mom and dad walked out and they didn't get me the sweets. I went and I took the sweets, I actually stole them. And my father caught me with the sweets, and he made me go back. When he got home and he saw I had the sweets, he said, "Who paid for that?" And I said, I took it. So he said to me, "You have stolen. Do you know how bad it is to steal?" He made me go back as a 5-year-old little girl, go to the shop owner and tell them I was bad and apologize for stealing and give them money for stealing those sweets. Now what that did to me was absolutely profound. It had such an impact on a 5-year-old little girl, thinking, I'm bad, I'm a thief, and now I have to go confront these people and the whole world has to know. And it had such an impact on me how I need to look at my self-worth. Subsequently, I look at it now from a psychology point of view, And I think there could have been a lot more effective way that my parents could have handled that situation to get the same outcome and realization. However, it taught me one important lesson. There are consequences for your actions. And that is a truth in the spiritual quotient side as well. Whether you realize it or not, what you put out there always has a repercussion. And I like the expression, what you put in the water is always going to come back to you. And this is a fundamental component of spiritual quotient. What is it that you put out there? So if you put out there that you are not worthy, then everybody else will kind of be attracted to you and see that you're not worthy. So it starts off within yourself. You have to work on yourself. And it is formed by a number of interactions over the years. So if you look at the relationship with the parents, and I'd like to do a whole session on effective parenting, about how you speak to your child. So it's very important from young, all those experiences start shaping and forming how you perceive yourself. And that then gets projected out into the world. So your parents' role are absolutely fundamental in shaping your self-worth. Teachers, you play an enormous role and you have a massive impact on shaping that child's self-worth. And you know what happens? You start planting little seeds of doubt or seeds that will grow them into massive oak trees. So we've got to be so careful with the word we speak, how we speak to individuals, because the reality is we are actually creating, and we're creating those seeds, and you are actually starting to build the foundation levels of that child's self-worth. And then what happens is that you have experiences that either support it and then reinforce your belief that you're worthy or you're not worthy. And that then shapes how you interact. Now, the reality is that your soul knows that you're beautiful, knows that you're extraordinary, knows that you're worthy, knows that you're pure as can be. And you need to be in absolute alignment with it. So when I talk of alignment, I'm talking of what you know intellectually and what you feel needs to be absolutely aligned. Once that's aligned, you start generating and start enhancing who you are and your own view of self-worth. This story just absolutely boggles my mind, and I want to share it with you. I had a candidate coming for an interview, and her CV looked pretty good. But she sat in the interview, and I asked her a question, and she didn't understand, and her response was, "Oh, I'm too stupid, I can't do this. I'm too stupid to answer that question." Now, immediately, that as the interviewer looked at this person and thought, wow, okay, you really don't have the capability to do the job. So I actually let her walk away. And I kept on going back to her CV and thinking, but her CV didn't correlate to what she was and the way she was. And that the reality boils down to how you project yourself from how you see yourself. And the message I want to give to you is, nobody has the permission to make you feel the way you feel. You are in absolute control of the way you feel. And you need to ensure that you know your worth. That when you go out there, you speak from the soul as opposed to speaking from the ego. Because you know what happens? Ego gets in the way. Ego makes you feel uncomfortable, nervous, afraid, scared. Because if you speak from the soul, you're speaking from the most authentic place you can possibly come from, where you are true and highest integrity, where you speak who you are. And the reality is, you will resonate with people who can see your worth. A wonderful expression that I heard a while back, which I use on many occasions, and you're probably going to hear me repeat it over and over and over. If you spot it, you've got it. So if somebody's got good within you, in them, they will spot the good within you. If somebody's got bad and anger within you, they're going to spot the bad and the anger within you. That's how we are. So relationships become a mirror of who we actually are and where we need to do the work to become our true authentic selves. And that's what I'm talking about, the evolution of moving from your knowing your intellect to having the EQ that you acquire with interpersonal relationships. And then finally, being in absolute peace and authenticity with who you are, what you are, and knowing your worth. So if you have to conclude this, the reality is your thoughts shape your feelings. So if you think you're not worthy, you're going to feel unworthy and you're going to project it. You need to change your thoughts and you change your life. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you want to share any comments, I'd love to hear your comments. And any other topics you'd like to hear from me, I'd love to hear what you want to discuss and share your thoughts with you. Thank you.